Hello everyone, I'm really happy to announce that now I have added one more intelligent feature to my application which actually generates the data. So far we were using, the rule-based logic to generate the data, but now you can see I have implemented this feature which says use LLM augmentation. What does it mean? Behind the scene, I have already set up, the Gemini Pro to be used whenever someone click on this. Then what's gonna happen for perturbation and the paraphrasing, which are two concepts which is really important to generate to increase the quality of your data so that we can reduce the overfitting. So in perturbation, we make small changes, whereas on a paraphrasing, we just change the wording, we use the synonyms a lot, we change the structure of the sentences just to increase the quality of data to generalize the learning for not only the machine learning models, but for the large language model as well when we fine tune that. Right. So this was a really important one to be integrated, and I'm really happy that I have integrated that. The only negative aspect which I observe is the moment we use this one, this is actually going to decrease the performance. But I have a way that I'm going to be working on it to increase the batch size so that, we can somehow trade out the speed of this data generation of through the LLM. But we are not going to do this very frequently because once we have enough data, then we don't need to regenerate again and again, right? So this we can just do it once in a while. So it is worth to just bear with the application to generate the data a little slower because LLM is definitely going to increase the quality of the data, right? So if you just click on that, it is going to take a little bit of time, and the another thing is what kind of limitation you have from the API perspective, because it is going to not only raise the request, get the response, do the cleanup which is happening behind the scene, for which I have already written a logic, right? So this is the data generation where we have this, and the another thing is adversarial auto-tuner. We know that this is a self-correcting tool where what it does is first it generates the data and then it runs, the multi-class machine learning model, the binary classification to understand the lowest F1 score, and based on that, it tries to just increase the weightage of that lower F1 score category so that, machine learning language model can learn that weakest category properly as well, right? So here you can see this, again, it was very slow. You can see, the harassment is 0, harmful content, and the role play bypass is 0, 0. But here you can see here the speech is 0. So it's keep changing based on the different the new data set we are getting. Here you can see in a fourth cycle we can see harmful content F1 score is increased to 5. Here it got increased to 0.67. So it's keep increasing, as you can see. So we can just increase the number of configuration as well, right? So definitely this is really something which we have to realize. First we have to generate the data and then we can just understand where the problem is, right? So now we can see we have this data which is already generated with 22319, because the process is very simple. You have to just click on this button and you have to click start auto. Same with the data generation, this is still running. So, but what we can do in the meantime, we can just use the data validation. We can quickly load the data which I have already generated. So what I'm going to do here is let's go with the data where we have the data and then use detection with the big mouse and mapping data. Which one is the latest one? We can use this one here. We can quickly see the distribution. So now we can see we have privacy evolution. So if you just see the rule-based data set which we have, let's quickly check that. Then you will understand the power of this auto-tuner feature, right? So this is the simple data without auto-tuner, right? And if I just say jump with the see here, the category is almost having a similar kind of population or the volume. But when it comes to the data set which generated with the help of an auto tuner, then the categories volume is different based upon what module actually figures out, because we have some weakest category and it's try to increase the population for that, right? So if you just click here, let's see what happens. We are more interested in this final wording. Semantic diversity is 81, which is good. structure balanced, well balanced, exceptionally clear distinction. So binary is good. Multi-class learnability, now you can see it's 90%, which is really good, right? And if you just see how this final verdict is, concluded, you can see the subsequent, the internal insights, for data quality and distribution, the model performance with the binary classification, the multi-class classification, and then misclassification analysis as well, right? Which one is having, the problem for based on the F1 score. So this is, where we can see that it was supposed to be spam, but predicted privacy violation, right? So this is what the error which we got when the multi classification model was run. So these are some of false positive, basically we can say, right? Similarly, if I just come here in a data generation, now this is generated. So this actually we know it takes time. If I just don't click on this and if I just want to run this, this is going to be very fast, right? So once I click on this, this is always going to take some time, and we understand why it is going to take the time, right? So it is definitely, there is a slowness, but it will definitely work. You can generate the data and you can just combine them, because whenever you are going to generate the LLM, the input is always going to be different. That's the beauty. And sometimes it is a weakness, but when it comes to generating a synthetic data, it is going to increase the quality and the strength of your data set, right? So this feature is really important when it comes to the synthetic data generation, because it will not only increase the volume of your data, but it is going to increase the quality of data as well, because these large language models are trained on a large amount of data, right, which we can't even think of, right? So in my opinion, this is really awesome. And the one more thing, if you really want to understand the very high level with this current implementation, this is how this entire application works. The step one is generating a data. So when we are going to request for that, it is going to just call the LLM. So LLM presentation is going to be happening. Then the quality validation, and this is the auto-tuning cycle where it's trying to understand which is the weakest category based on the multi-classification model output, and then it's going to just get into the loop until we just get the final data set based on the configuration of loops, how many loops we want to run that, right? And then we have this statement, right? So this is the current flow. And what next improvement I'm going to make, that I'm not sure yet, because I haven't thought about it, but definitely I will just think about it. But if you have any feedback or suggestion which you want me to integrate in this application through which we can increase the quality of a data set, then please feel free to put that into the comment section. I would really like to think about it and incorporate that in my future video. So that's pretty much it from my side for this video. If you really like this video, give a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed for my channel, please subscribe for my channel. And as always, stay healthy and keep learning new things.